Right, well, we'll start with a new set. But it was new about 3 years ago when I bought it. I just haven't had time to go through all the new sets that we bought in. We've stopped buying new sets, but we had got quite a few to do. We've got the Moonraker Miicro, which of course is the same as plenty of others along the same lines. I'm guessing the date. No, it's 31, isn't it? Good. It's been around. Look, even the box has got faded on my left-hand side. It's supposed to be grey on that side. I think it is. We've got a bit of an instruction. Might need that to get it onto the right set of channels. Let's just see what it does. Oh, it does AM, does it? Oh well, we'll be able to play it that on the on the set in the car, won't we now? So little mic, a little bit too light. At least it does have a pluggable mic and not a wired in like some do. Right, we'll get that connected up to power. And it's powered up on DE. Now, why would it do that? You would think that if it was a new set, it would be on the European FM band. So let's see what we've got to do. Power it up pressing the AF button. And I expect it's up and down on the mic. Except I didn't do it quickly enough. No, that's not how it's done. And then what? Just turn it off and turn it back on again. Good. So set it to channel 20. Plug the test instrument in. And we're on what you'd expect to be channel 20 UK. So if I press band, it goes over to CE and it does a CPT set of channels, and then it's back to UK. So like a lot of sets, you'd have to reprogram it to use AM, which we will be doing. As in, we'll be doing the demonstration. We won't be bothering with AM, although we'll be doing the demonstration with AM. Good. So with the date code starting 19, I'd expect it to be 2019, so we've had it in stock 3 or 4 years. Right, we'll get the sheet out. Won't take much notice of the frequency at this point because the test gear has not been on long. On the 3 watt scale, let's switch picture in picture on. And it is doing 2.7 watts. And on channel 40, I'm looking for a knob on the radio. Of course there isn't one, it's all on the mic. Oh, 2.65 watts. And on channel 1, 2.7 watts. Doesn't have low power because it's not a 2781 set. Let's go back to channel 20. And transmit current consumption is 1.52. Deviation, wow, it's reading 2.6 actually. So we'll verify that with the set behind me. We won't be doing the VCO, we'll come back to frequency. I don't think you can adjust it anyway. Just for the record, the frequency at the moment is 27.7908. I'll put it in because I want to match the signal generator to that. So we'll do that. We'll leave it there, that's going to be enough. Right, so let's look at the synod meter. Now, some of these sets, I don't know whether a stereo plug or what, but some of them do not like being plugged into the test gear. It's not right. I've got a stereo adapter. Let's see whether that works. Pause the video. Well, that's interesting. I've put a mono to stereo adapter in there and it now apparently is working. So don't say that. Why on earth would you put a stereo socket on the back of a CB radio? Perhaps you can listen to 2 channels at once. Absolutely bonkers. Right, so we'll put the signal generator, the synod meter up on there. And let's see what we've got. It's jolly good. I'll just turn the squelch down. Doesn't have a squelch knob, but yeah, of course, it's auto squelch 1, is it? That's going to be helpful. Anyway, it's gone to nothing, so that's what we want. So let's have a look what that reads. Yeah, really good. 0.29. Zero 0.23. 0.7. So how do we work squelch? Ah, right, it's got off position. Okay, so 2.8 is the maximum. And 2.8 is 3 millivolts. Threshold. Put the signal generator to standby. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go around the other way. Well, 0.1's the lowest, so let's put it on at that. .42, excellent. So putting it into, is that auto squelch? Yep, it is. So it says it's better than 1 microvolt for 10 dB. Well, our sample is 0.23 microvolts, so that is fantastic. Squelch better than 1 microvolt, we've got 0.42. So if we have it in auto squelch, it's a noise squelch. Good. It does have an RF gain, which is a sub-menu. Don't need to go into that. So I'd like to bring up the transmit power. There's no meter on this version. Right, I'll turn it off and we'll open it up. Well, we haven't got the screwdriver I'm looking for. Let's see whether we can get this one to fit. As it happens, we can. I won't bother undoing the speaker. It's got 1 or 2 adjustments. It doesn't feel like anything's getting hotter than it should. I think we've got AM mod power between the 1 and the 4, because this is from a time when Germany had 1 watt, I'm sure. I think that's what we've done in the past, and FM deviation is going to be there. So we'll double check that, as I say, with the test set behind me. Let's go into power and just see whether we can improve the rather dismal 2.7 watts. Turn it back on. So make sure it's on channel 20, which it is. Right. Three. 3.2. 3.5, 3.5. Add point. Hang on, it's not on UK. Let's try that on the right band. It's going to be less, isn't it? It's alright at doing 3.5 on CPT, but that's no help to me. So it's to the point where it doesn't go any further, it isn't always full. It's 3.4. Add 0.4 to a normal test set, which, so if I say it's 3.4, I put it in the wrong box now. Add to that 0.4 for a more normal reading test, because this is selective, you're probably doing about 3.8. So we'll just pop it onto channel 1 and channel 40. So that's channel 40, 3.3, and channel 1. 3.4. Current consumption when we get back to channel 20. .67. So it hasn't gone up that much for an extra 3/4 of a watt. So I'm going to put this onto the test set behind me, and we'll just verify. I'll not even be showing you the right meter either. So there we go, 3.4. I'll put this in the test set behind, change my glasses, and see what the deviation is. A little bit high, so the other test set was right today. 2.6, and I don't want to peak above 2.5. Wallow. That's it. The next customer repair is the Unit N200, but we try and do one of our sets to a customer set to one of our sets to a customer set, and so we've got quite a few from our mystery benefactor Alan to look at. I want to look at some AM sets which we will be scrapping, just to see what the receivers are like before I scrap them. Just look at this now on this test set. Wow, it's absolutely spot on today, that. Good, 2.2 to 2.5. I don't know whether this is a return, it just doesn't seem to be as new as it ought to be. It doesn't matter at all. It did come from the wholesaler. So now it's all been on a bit longer. Are we a bit more on frequency? Not yet. It's non-adjustable, so it's how it is. The receiver's non-adjustable, which is how it is. It's all well within tolerance. That isn't going to change. That's user adjustable. So that's it, isn't it? We need to do AM, so we need to reprogram it and go into AM. We'll see what the sensitivity is on AM. So switch it off, AF. Did we say EU for? Yeah. So put it on channel 20. Put 27205 on the signal generator. There we go, that'll do. So let's have a look at the cyanide meter now. Put a bit more volume on so that it's fair. So we had 0.29 before. Oh, I've got the squelch on, haven't I? Faffity faffity faff. Wrong button, it's not that button. Off. So on CPT it says 0.28. So CPT channel 20, 27, 205 megs. FM is, what did I say, 2.8. 0.28 microvolts for 12 dB. Synad. Let's go to AM. And it will not be as sensitive because they never are. And it's 0.9, and AM 0.97. Now, do they differentiate between AM and FM on the specification? Point is, it says better than 1 microvolt, and it's better than 1 microvolt on AM and FM. So they don't differentiate, but it is better than that on both. But it's very Mr. Average on there to me, and it's outstanding on FM. There you are. The printer's just suddenly burst into life. Mr. Chippy will be up to something. So that's AM. Let's look at modulation then. We'll have to retune the meter. We'll press transmit and retune the meter. Wallow. It's 72%, so we want a bit more than that. So AM mod 72%. So we'll adjust that. And it's that preset at the back. Wah, if I get the thing on. Wallow. Wallow. And get 86% with that at full. Does it say anything about that in the book? So deviation we've come up, it says less than 90%. Well, it is, isn't it? And less than 1.9. Well, it's, there we go. I think that's it. That's everything. I'll just give Mr. Chippy his printout. Pause the video. There we are. That's giving him his printout. So it works better than what it says in the thing. 3.4 watts. As I add 0.4 to a more normal reading test instrument, it'd be 3.8. So there you are. Frequencies. I've still not been on really long enough to be absolutely spot on. Go back to UK channel so we what we're used to. There we go. $27. Oh, it doesn't remember where you were, does it? it does annoy me, this Channel 9 business. You're not telling me anybody in any country does Channel 9. 2779082. It's not going to budge, is it? I'd have liked it at 085 plus, but it's not off frequency. So you've got a crystal filter in the receiver. The reference crystal is there. Output device there. Filters are all in that screen plate. There you are. There's quite a few of these, aren't there, which are similar, and we've covered them in the past. But this is the one I missed. And they're less than £50. Do AM and FM. It's a bit of a faff to get through to, but they're not intended for people who are constantly changing bands. So it'll be fun to go through to our Thunderpole T3000 in the test car and see what this sounds like on AM. We will do that, having done those tests with pure AM sets. I dropped one of the screws on the floor. Worry about that later. I'll put this onto our aerial. So it does everything it says in the book. So, you know, oh, receive, oh, yeah, I've seen better. Yeah, well, it's very, very good on FM. And it's better than a lot on AM. And we're going to be proving that, I say, with some junk AM sets, some of which Alan sent me for spares. It's a very grey area because I'm not allowed, nobody is allowed to have FCC American CB radios here because they are contraband, so they're illegal to own. So I have to disable them so I don't get into trouble. And I have been inspected and I have been in trouble. I've said before, I did international repairs at one time, and somebody in America sent something in which was a really old realistic 23 channel set. It was confiscated, and they saw I was doing nothing wrong, but I was given the warning, you know. And so, and of course the customer lost his set, but he knew the risk. He knew the risk, and it's not fun having people in your property looking on all the shelves for just in case something's not 100%. But they don't go and find the person with the 1.2 kilowatt linear. No, they don't go and look for them. Right, let's take picture-in-picture off. We're on the aerial. We're on the UK set of channels. We've got the squelch off. 19 Roger. Are we on the UK set of channels? No, we weren't, you see. You don't know whether it's on CPT or whether it's on UK unless you actually change bands. It just says FM, which are both FM. Let's try that 19 Roger again. 19 Roger. I'm sure I heard the word drugs then. Go on the other band. I don't think he's doing 4 watts. Hooray, silence. Okay, so there we have it, the Moonraker Miicro. I think it is definitely a current model, but I've had this for 3 years. So there we go. I'll be interested to do the on-the-air test for this, and the next repair is a customer repair, and it's a Unit N200, so make sure I've got my capacitors at the ready, because it certainly will need it. Thanks for watching.